Hi, it's me again. I've been up during the day and I don't really know what to do with myself, and I'm still have more cleaning, but you know how that goes. Um, I do a little here and there, and it's never enough to amount to anything. Looks the same as it did before when you feel like you worked all day. I don't know. So I was starting to do like, okay, something different each day instead of than the regular things, and then maybe like I always do the normal cleaning and the dishes and this and that because we don't have a dishwasher, and I'm doing the laundry and everything. That's all this basic stuff and sweeping the floor and all that. But I never get to the mopping. I never get to the wet work, I guess, because when I used to clean houses, we called it wet work. The kitchen and the bathroom was the wet work, and the vacuumer and the bedroom person was like the dry work person. So I never get to the wet work. And I always hated the wet work when I used to clean houses. Anyway, man, I couldn't stand it. It took longer. It did though. It took freaking forever. So, yesterday I did cheaply wash the kitchen floor. Because we always had to get down on our hands and knees. That's why my knees are all messed up. Had to get down on our hands and knees and wash those floors when we clean houses, When they look good too. You do it wet. Down on your hands and knees, do it wet. And you're really doing it good. And as you go too, they would give it these white cloths, and we would, dry it as you go out of the room and get the crumbs up and everything, the stuff that the vacuum missed. And even after that, you might have to take the vacuum over it to get the crumbs you missed when you did it. I don't know. Maybe that's where I started to become a perfectionist, is when I would clean these houses. I'm not perfect, believe me, but my mind wanted it to be perfect, and I felt like I had to make it perfect. And it was so great, though, when you would shine the mirrors. And what really made me mad, because, they wouldn't always give us paper towel. And a lot of times when you clean a mirror, you need, that paper towel. You need that dry paper towel. And what really sucks is I've noticed that if you would use Bounty, it don't work as well. It gets streaky and everything. You had to have that cheap, excuse me, the cheap paper towel. The cheapest crap in the world. It was more crunchy and hard, That worked the best. Bounty's the quicker picker-upper dude, or dudette. And the, say, Sparkle was more the dry, probably the shit picker-upper. I don't know. I'm just being silly, but that's how it was. But, just these days, it's gotten so out of hand, I don't even know what to do. You get more and more stuff throughout the years, but it's not like I have more and more stuff that's like good stuff. I have a chair sitting here. It has Michigan, the M on it, and it's blue and yellow, and it's a cool chair, right? It was garbage picked, right? We go through a lot of computer chairs because the kid is rough on them, and he weighs, more than, I don't know, just bigger. It's a big kid. And the bases break, or they start tilting and they get weird. And then I have this rug thing here. It's like gray outdoor carpet, which I can't find the cutter knife. The one that could cut carpet or cardboard. I can't find that. I don't have any good pair of scissors, so there's stuff. Oh, the problem is the box of the bills and the paperwork. I have a lot of paperwork, and what I'm bad at is I don't go through it as it comes, and then it gets thrown into a box. But I have noticed that I've needed a lot of this paperwork in the years that come, because I always needed proof of this or proof of that. And so they're in boxes that make you search. So that's the problem. There's some boxes in the bedroom which takes up space to, and it's a small room, put it that way, but it takes up space to where you can't get it organized right, you know. And we don't have a basement, so I just can't go shove it downstairs or anything, you know. So, you know, that's what happens. And it gotten so overwhelmed throughout the years because I've had to focus on a lot of different things that I've had to work. I've had to take care of the kid. He had special situations, important situations, one that needed to be focused on, that take mental energy, and then it takes away from everything else you have to do. And it kind of just piles up and piles up, and then, you know, it's not laziness. It's not laziness. It's doing what you have to do to get through and get by, and until a time comes to where you might have time. But I haven't found that you do have time. I haven't found that. I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting. You know, Social Security will send you 2 or 3 different envelopes in 1 week. One will be from Maryland and one will be from Lansing. And you know, the 2 different places with the same information. And it's the same when you go onto the phone, too, you know. You don't know where you're supposed to be calling. They'll transfer you to some other state or some other person. They go through 5 different people. That's why you need to keep track, and you need to keep that paperwork. So it is in the bedroom. It's still sleepable, but can't get to the closet right now. So I have clothes sitting in the laundry room where I sit and do my videos. And it's bugging me. But I like to make videos. I like to talk about things. I like to talk about real life situations that get hard. And it's like the dryer's running right now. And the furnace. This is probably the worst video and the noisiest thing ever. Oh yeah, I should shut my speaker off. That's squealing too. Goodness. It's really hard out there though when you look around. I'm sorry to say, I'm not jealous or anything, but it's when you see the differences amongst people and what they have. And a lot of people say, oh, well, I worked hard for this, which I agree. But they also might have been given opportunities that you weren't. You know, maybe like what I'm saying is through their family members that, you know, got them the job and they got them the way in the door, you know. Those opportunities out here right now, there's no opportunities to get in the door. I mean, you got so many homeless people. You got people that would willingly work. They would willingly work rather than live on the street. They would willingly work rather than be in the position they're in. I like working. I like working. I enjoyed my newspaper route. I enjoyed cleaning the houses I had. I even had them on my own. I enjoyed the office cleaning. It was really cool. Even though my back and my knees and everything's messed, getting down on your hands and knees and doing all the stuff the hard way, it was hard work. A lot of people out there have luck and they get into these jobs because someone else got them into it, and it's really cool, and they I would say get further in life, and they're able to get these things. What I'm trying to say is, having a kid that's autistic, they talked about speech therapy and occupational therapy and things like this, but yet being on Medicaid through the state of Michigan would not cover these services. You had to have a private insurance in order to get the good services. They even had floor time. They had all kinds of stuff, behavioral therapy, everything else that Medicaid would not cover. Now, this was 22 years ago. These days, it's coming more and more popular, you know, where people have autism and then they are accepting and covering services. What I'm saying is there's a lot of things that we could have used and needed that a lot of other people have. And sometimes I get upset because I'm not trying to be rude here, but it seems like they take those things. They take advantage of it. It's their everyday life. I always wondered what they would do if something really bad happened in their family, like a death, or they got sick or disabled. What would they do? How would they keep up what they have? Believe me, I don't want that to happen. I feel everybody deserves good things in their life. Not trying to get all sorrowful and teary-eyed or anything else, but I feel like I have been left behind. I feel I've tried my darndest. Autism and disabilities. Even with my boyfriend, he has MS and hereditary spastic paralysis and paraplegia, I guess you would say. But this happened early in our lives. We didn't have the same opportunities as other people, so that means we can't really be on the same level as them, which then it makes us not get along. It makes us differences in our lifestyles and everything else, and then you find that people don't understand, and it just causes a division. It's something I never wanted. I never wanted division. I feel I've always tried my best and always worked my hardest and always wanted to get to any certain point to be able to support myself, to support my family. It just didn't happen that way. So a lot of times things like that will cause depression. You see people enjoying themselves, you see them have nice things, you see them, they are able to exercise because they have the exercise bike. They are able to go for a swim because they have a pool. And a lot of people have in-ground pools. They are able to get their doctor's appointment because they have a brand new car all the time that they lease. They have the money to pay for the things. They have family that supports them, and actually some of them help them get them that job. I didn't have that. My dad didn't get me no job. My uncle, whoever he would be, didn't get me a job. My second cousin's brother didn't get me a job. Nothing. I know family is important. I know family is truly important. My mom, she was awesome. She was important in my life, not from what I could get from her, not for things that she would buy or anything. We couldn't even afford Christmas gifts for each other. I remember the last time before she passed away, getting choked up here, but I was able to spend $60 on her and get her a really nice set of sheets and a comforter. She had a dog, just like the dog I had that my brother gave us. He had a litter of dogs and labs, and they were very hyper, and she felt so bad because it for like a whole month everything was fine. She would shut her door and this and that, but the dog loved it so much that he would, dig that little hole and he'd get comfortable in it and this and that. A couple times she forgot to shut the door and he put a couple rips in it and she was all upset, and I said, Mom, please do not worry. I'm actually happy. The dog enjoyed it too. I mean, don't worry about it. It's not something I worried about at all. And it wasn't like I spent the money and now it's wrecked. It's not like that. But maybe she felt it was because I never really was able to do things for her. We would do little things. Our things were more like talking to each other, building each other up, being there when something bad happened, talking it through, getting through to the next day. Once in a while a carry out, or we'd go to the restaurant. Once in a while, I'm saying once in a while. And that's another thing. I see people go out to eat all the time. It's like an everyday thing, and I've never been able to do that. There's so many foods I would like to try, so many places I'd like to go, so many cars I would like to rent just to take for a ride. One time I did rent one. Oh, you wouldn't even believe this. We're never able to do things, right? So I rent this car, and I can't remember why I did. What was the reason? But I had for 2 days. Oh, God. It costed like $200 and something. You're not supposed to let anybody else drive it. Oh, goodness. I let my mom drive it. She liked it so much. I can't remember what kind of car it was. I'll have to come back to that. But anyway, she gets in the driver's seat, and she is going down the road like 80 miles an hour, hitting the gas. Because that's what happens when you don't have anything good and you have something that runs like a piece of garbage all the time. Oh, thank God. She didn't get a ticket or nothing, but she just nailed it. And we were having fun, and we were going down 11 Mile Road. I mean, right by the freeway, and I'll never forget those days. Oh, goodness gracious. Things like that. Things that make you laugh, and going to the restaurant once in a while. Our big thing was eating potato skins with the bacon and sour cream. Ooh, you had to have the sour cream. I would put ketchup on it too. Oh God. Or chili cheese fries. Goodness, how fattening and how bad for you. And then her thing was she always had to have the oh, now I'm forgetting it. Oh, the thing with the ice cream and cream puff. Oh, hot fudge cream puff. The only thing I didn't like about that, because she wanted me to have that with her, I would just rather have some chocolate ice cream or something, you know. She would want me to have that with her, but the chocolate stuff they put on it, I think they would benefit if they put like real hot fudge or something, you know. Just didn't totally like the taste of it, because the kind of fudgy stuff that they put on it with the little doughy puff, it didn't mix correctly. It had a funny taste to it. But I mean, if you could have some real dark hot fudge, I think that would have made a world of difference. I really do. But she just died for these things. So we'd go to the Coney Island because she always wanted to get the hot fudge cream puff. Oh goodness! But I miss those days. I do have a couple things on my YouTube. We're in the van. My van that now is a problem. We were singing, talking to people, playing the claw game inside the Coney Island. Little things, little things. And we wouldn't get to go often. It might be twice a year. We had to worry about doctor's appointments with her. We had to worry about doctor's appointments with my boyfriend and me and my son. His was constant with the counseling and the psychiatrist and the pediatrician left and right. There was a point when he was a year old, he was less than that. He was going right when he was born 3 times in a week to the pediatrician. Those kind of things will really set you back and not allow you to press forward. And when they continually go on, he did not sleep through the night till he was 10 years old. That's the honest to God's truth. He didn't talk until he was 6. He said a few words at the age of 7 months, right after he got out of the hospital from having the meningitis. And he started getting a little bit better like 2 months later or 3 months later, and he would say a few words. Car, go, glean, which was green, door, dog, step, wind. Wind was rewind. He would back up into things. He would do things that were different, and he didn't know what it meant. He had to be a mind reader, and he couldn't talk, and you were guessing what to do. And these things in life are important, and you have to do them, and it keeps you at a distance from the rest of the world. It makes you not be able to have and do what they do. Eventually it'll separate the family to where they'll invite you and you won't be able to make it, or you come and you're late. They think you're disrespecting them when you're not. If they could really, really just see and be in the situation, I think they would know. It's like you can't even get up in the morning. So from a long time ago, I've lost sleep. I didn't sleep. I would go to work without sleep. I'd have to drive a car without sleep, meaning deliver a route that took 6-7 hours because you'd have 2 of them. Going through my dizziness way back then, since I'm 19, and having ear problems and vertigo. They told me I shouldn't even drive. I should have filed for disability way back then, but no, I kept working. And you know what's crazy now? I probably wouldn't even be approved because I don't have a diagnosis. I don't have a clear diagnosis. It's just vertigo. I haven't worked in the past 3.5 years. It's the first time in my life I haven't worked. So, what we have to do is be thankful for the little things. Be thankful we're going to eat today. Be thankful we could have a 2-foot pool in the summer. A blow-up one. One you could put water in to just cool off. We did plant a garden. Hopefully we could do it this year. I'm afraid that what if there's not going to be some plants that you could buy and plant? In Michigan, the weather isn't warm very much. June really isn't good. July is and August is. That's about it. 2 months, it's not much time. So, but thankful for the little things and thankful for what you have. And even if your house is messy, you'll get to it. And who cares if it doesn't look like anything you see online or your neighbors or your family? Who cares? You do make a difference. You are important. Not to be rude to anybody else, but you probably have a huger heart than they do. You're focused on things that they've never even had to. That's amazing. That's love. That's a true heart. Having to give yourself up for someone else. Having to give things up in life for someone else. To take care of them. We may look at ourselves today and think, well, where are we today? We're like in a deep hole. We are. We've lost everything more than once. Repeatedly. Because of who we are. And if those other people didn't have us, they wouldn't have had anybody. So that is a huge thing. That's love. That's sacrifice. That's a true heart. Hear the dryer. When I first started up, it squeals really bad. I don't know if any of the places are open where you could buy a belt. I would assume it needs a belt. It's really bad when you first start it up. It squeals loud like a car does. I'm hoping we could put a belt on. You have to unhook it and probably flip it sideways and find out where the heck you could get to it. And I don't know the number and everything else. It's constant work. When you don't have money, it's constant work. It's 4 times harder, at least. You can't just call somebody up or just go get a new dryer. When you're getting where you can't do things, you just can't call in somebody to come clean your house. It costs money. You got to do it all yourself. That's why we're depressed. That's why we're angry. A lot of the times it seems unfair. But we're going to get through this. We're going to make it. There's things I wish I could have that I probably never will have. But one thing we do have is love in our hearts. And that's what we're going to keep on doing. Thank you for watching. I hope it wasn't too depressing. I'm sitting here holding the tears back every single second. Thinking I already did my dishes and I did some stuff and got a lot more to do, deeper things to do, but it's all good. Counts for something. A lot of these things we can't brag about. We're not supposed to brag anyway. But God knows. He knows. He knows our hearts. And He knows. So that's about it. I better hang up. I've been jabbing for 25 minutes. I really hope you have a good day. Sorry that a lot of videos have been coming through. I was up during the day and had a little bit more time to do it, although my work's getting slacked off, and I really want to go watch more of the Point of Interest series. I know that it's not a godly series, but still interesting. Alright, I'm going to sign off. You have a good day. It's the 17th of April, I believe. I'm not working, so I'm not going to get a stimulus check, so figures. And I'm not working, so my kid's over 18. I'm not going to get the double, what do they call it, the earned income credit. I'm not going to get the extra child tax things and everything else. I wish I could have worked back then, and Trump could have been in office back then. He's made a lot of things happen for a lot of people. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I feel he's doing his best just like we are, so pray for him too. Thank you. I better go. Could talk all day. This one's long. I love you.